What's going on, guys? So today we have this old head OG talking about wife of 19 years was acting strange, dressing different, caught my wife cheating right before Christmas. Oh boy. I've never seen this video. I saw it earlier today on my recommended, and it seems like an interesting story. I've never seen this channel before. It's called Tony's Cheating Stories. So the guy must have a lot of experience with cheating, okay? So let's go ahead and get right into it and see what it's all about.
One Friday evening, after finishing a long day of clearing storm-damaged trees, I came home to find the house unusually quiet. The kids were with my in-laws for the weekend, a plan my wife had arranged earlier that week. Normally, a quiet house was a welcome respite after a hard day, but something felt off. When I walked into the living room, I saw her getting ready to leave. She was dressed more carefully than usual, tight jeans, a low-cut sweater, and her hair styled in a way she hadn't done in years.
This is something, guys, that if you guys start to see your woman dress up better, smell better, she's having sex with you less and less, she's trying to be a little more distant with you, it seems like she's trying to push you away, even if you feel like you're doing everything right, then 9 times out of 10, there's another guy in the picture and she is trying to push you away and be sneaky about it at the same time. So that way she can mess with this guy, see if the grass is greener on this side. Meanwhile, still keep the security of having you and hoping that if everything works out with this guy, she could just leave you. But if it doesn't, she could just come back to you. So pay attention, guys. Pay attention to what's going on.
I asked her where she was going, and she told me she was meeting some coworkers for drinks at a new bar downtown. Now,
if your woman says anything about coworkers, right? If she doesn't tell you, right? First of all, she should not be going to no bars downtown with coworkers without telling you, right? He just got home. He looked around. She already scheduled the kids to go get taken care of. Okay. She's trying to look all good. Okay. And he just found out that she's trying to go downtown with her friends, right? He just found that out. She's about to go downtown with some coworkers. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Coworkers, all right. Right? First of all, they can't be male, right? If she tells you, I'm going to get a drink with Joe and Bubba, oh hell no, right? You're a fool if you really let your woman do that, right? And not let, right? Because you have to have boundaries, and you can't change a woman. If she wants to do it, let her do what she wants to do. But you also have the free will to let that woman go and not make her yours. If a woman is yours, she has to understand that you have boundaries. No male friends, no going out to no bars and clubs, unless, right? And this is where I was getting to, unless she says, hey babe, I'm going to the bar with my coworker Sarah, and I'm going to the bar with my coworker Samantha, right? And even then, bars is not a place that your woman should be going to by herself, unless it's like out at a restaurant at like 6 p.m., right? 7 p.m., 5 p.m. But if it's 12 p.m. and she's going downtown, oh yeah, she's gonna take in a pound town, my brother. She's gonna take in a pound town, brother. I assure you 100%. Okay? So when she comes back home and her pussy's just a little bit looser than it was before, oh yeah, you know she was getting that BBC. So yeah, first of all, she should not be going. And if she does, right, and she says, hey, listen, I'm going over here and I'm going with Sarah and Samantha, and just letting you know, is that okay with you? Right? First asking you, is that okay with you? Understanding that I respect you and you have the last say. Is that okay with you? And you can come, by the way. You can come, right? Giving you the invitation, letting you know there's nothing going on, right? Because you can come. Not saying, hey, babe, do you want to come, right? She doesn't have to give you the invitation to where you have to go, but at least giving you the offer. If your woman respects you, she will do that. If you have boundaries in place, if your woman respects you, and let's just say her friends invite her out or something, she will come to you and she will say, "Hey babe, my friends invited me here. Do you think it's okay if, is that okay with you? Is that okay with you?" Right? She wants to check with you. And if you say, "Nah, babe, I don't really think you should be going to bars. There's a bunch of drunk guys and they're out there trying to fuck. I don't really think that's an environment that someone in a relationship should be in." She will say, if she respects you, she will say, "Okay, babe, I'll send them a text right now, right? Hey, girls, we're going to have to reschedule, whatever. We can go out to dinner or something, right? Something a little less single activities." So if you are not experiencing that, first of all, you suck as a leader. First of all, it's you. And second of all, she does not respect you. Because a woman who does respect you, she will come to you for the say-so. She will respect your word over her friends. She will not say, "Oh, but my friends, they say this and this and that. Oh, babe, I don't really think you should do that, blah, blah, blah," right? "Oh, but my friends, Nah, she doesn't respect you. She sees you as a bitch, okay? Let's see what's going on here, man. And if you guys need help, send me a DM on Instagram at Optimal Man Coach, and I respond to all of my DMs. So get at me, guys.
We'd been married for 19 years, and in all that time, she rarely went out without me. It wasn't a trust issue, just a pattern of how our lives worked. She wasn't one to hit the bar scene, and the sudden interest in doing so struck me as odd. But I didn't push. I was exhausted, and part of me felt ridiculous for even thinking twice about it. She kissed me on the cheek, grabbed her purse, and left without looking back.
No, fellas, don't be brainwashed by this social media shit, right? Where they tell you that if you say something, you're insecure. Oh my goodness, you're so insecure that your woman is going to downtown where there's all these drunk guys who the only reason they're going downtown is to get some pussy. Oh my goodness, you're so insecure that you don't let your woman go downtown and get pounded on. Don't fall for that shit. If your woman is doing something that can be seen as disrespect, that can be seen as crossing a boundary, that could be putting her in a position where she'd have to, deal with some sort of disrespect, guess what? You let her know. You check her. You tell her, "Hey, babe, listen, I don't think that's what we should do." Right? You don't have to come at her all aggressive, but just check her. Let her know. "Listen, I don't think that's what we should do," right? If we're in a relationship, I expect my woman to not do those kind of things. And if your woman respects you, she'll say, "Okay, I respect you." So become a better leader as a man.
That night, though, I couldn't relax. Something gnawed at me, a small, nagging feeling I couldn't shake. I tried to distract myself with a football game on TV, but my mind kept drifting back to her. After an hour of restlessness, I grabbed my phone and looked up the bar she mentioned. It was a trendy place on the edge of town, popular for its craft cocktails and live music.
And it was either closed or he drove past it.
Nothing about it screamed coworker hangout. Still, I reminded myself not to overthink. She deserved a night out, didn't she? But the doubt lingered. The next morning she came home later than I expected, almost 3 a.m. I had fallen asleep on the couch, but woke up when I heard her come in. Her footsteps were light,
At 4 a.m. or 3 a.m., watch.
almost as if she was trying not to wake me. When I called out to her, she froze in the hallway before walking into the living room. Her face was flushed, and her hair was sort of messed up.
Oh yeah, that boy was pulling on that hair. Meanwhile, you're at home. "I don't want to be insecure. I'm thinking about it, but I don't want to be so insecure, so I'm just gonna stay here." Meanwhile, that other guy's Huh? Whose pussy is this? Huh? It's yours. It's yours. Whose pussy is this, bitch? Yeah. You fucking slut. You dirty fucking bitch. Right? He's doing all that. Meanwhile, you're at home. I don't want to be all insecure. That man's over there busting nuts on your girl's face. Come on, dog. First of all, you shouldn't overthink when you're with a woman, right? You shouldn't overthink to where anywhere she goes, you're constantly thinking about her, right? If the bitch is gonna cheat and you find out, okay, let it be, right? But don't go out there looking for it. If you find out, cut that bitch off. But don't go out there looking for it. But also, don't jeopardize the relationship by not setting boundaries. Because when shit like this happens, you're gonna have to be thinking about, oh shit, like, is she cheating because she's going out to the bars downtown? As opposed to if you have boundaries in place, like, hey, listen, we don't do the clubbing, we don't do the partying, no male friends. You don't have to constantly be overthinking. A lot of you guys have to overthink all the time because you don't set any boundaries. Your woman's hanging out with her friends, John, Bubba, fucking Joe. Whole time you're over here, oh, I'm overthinking. I'll tell you right now, she's getting her pussy destroyed by those guys who she says are just a friend. I guarantee it, okay? So you can continue believing the lie. You can continue sitting there listening to her. No, babe, he's not my type. Yeah, okay, whatever you want to believe. So you can sit there and overthink about that. You can overthink when she goes out to the bar. You can overthink when she goes out to these parties. Or you could just be a fucking man worth respecting, and you could set boundaries. And that lets her know that you are inherently more valuable than the man who doesn't set boundaries. Because you have some value about yourself, and you're trying to protect women, a quality of women, from coming in, right? Because she understands, if I don't follow these rules, then I'm going to lose him. This is a valuable man, as opposed to the man who doesn't. All right, guys? So don't be overthinking if your woman is out there. But if you have boundaries in place, right, you're not really going to be having to worry too much. Of course, she might go to work and there's still possibilities of cheating and everything, but it's not as much as if you have zero boundaries.
I asked her how the night went, and she gave me a vague answer. Something about the usual drinks and laughs. Then she quickly excused herself to go to bed. Over the next few weeks, her behavior grew stranger. She started guarding her phone like a hawk, taking it everywhere with her, even to the damn bathroom. She became increasingly irritable, snapping at me over trivial things. The late nights became more frequent, and the excuses less convincing.
That's another thing, right? She's going to start getting annoyed of you. Why? Because men and women connect through sex. And so when that connection between you guys isn't there anymore, she's sleeping with you less and less. And even if she does give you a little bit of sex to make you feel as though the relationship is still there, it's going to be fucking planking sex, right? She's going to be like this. Like she's fucking dead, like this. And you're going to be doing all the work. It's not that passionate sex. It's not that raw sex, right? Where you guys are both just in the moment, sexual tension is high. No, she's going to be like this, planking, right? Because she's trying to give you just a little bit so that you don't feel like the relationship is over, but yet she's still trying to connect with this other guy. So meanwhile, she's connecting with this other guy, she's disconnected with you. So everything that you do is going to annoy her. When you are a man that a woman is in love with, of course there's going to be times when she gets a little annoyed, right? You might say something, she might get a little annoyed, right? But overall, it's not like so consistent. Everything you say, everything you do. When a woman gets mad at everything you say and everything you do, she's falling out of love with you. She's getting her cheeks demolished. Guess what? It's not a good sign. So pay attention to the sign, guys, because a lot of guys say, I don't know why this happened. I never saw no signs. No, you saw all the signs, brother. You just chose to ignore them.
It wasn't until I noticed a pattern that my suspicions began to solidify. Every time she went out, she wore the same perfume, a scent I hadn't smelled on her in years.
Because the guy liked it.
And her nights out always seemed to coincide with certain weekends when the kids were away. One night, while she was in the shower, I decided to check her phone. I have never looked at her phone or had a need to, but the growing doubts were eating me alive. Unfortunately, her phone was locked, and I didn't know the passcode.
So he waited for her to go to sleep and he put the camera on her face. Let's see.
That in itself was unusual. She had never felt the need to lock her phone before.
All the signs are there, bro. They're all there. They're all pointing to what it is that you know deep down inside. But guys are so hard-headed, they need to wait till they see their woman on all four with a fucking 12-incher just plowing your woman and the balls just slapping on her ass cheeks and she's over there moaning his name, telling him that her pussy is his. Guys are so hard-headed, they need to go through that. They know their woman's cheating on them. They know it. They have all the intuition. Like this guy right here. You have all the signs. But guys are so hard-headed that they wanna show up and see a whole entire football team and she's there sucking them all off. That's what guys want to see. So they can be like, oh, fuck, I knew it. Dumbass bitch, I'm cutting her off. And then there's going to be the guys who are going to be like, oh, I guess I'll take her back. Okay, buddy, you're going to continue getting cheated on.
I put it back where I found it and decided to take a different approach. If there was something going on, I needed proof before confronting her. The next week, I hired a private investigator. Let me tell you, it was expensive for my budget, but that seems to be the going thing these days. Get evidence first before.
Yeah, like I don't recommend, doing all this shit. If you really feel like she's cheating on you, just leave her ass. But then again, some guys are married, and I don't know how the whole marriage things works, right? So I don't think you could just divorce someone right away without her taking like half of the money. So maybe this is a good idea if you got a lot to lose, right? Like you have a lot of money on the line that she could take half the stuff, right? Maybe it is a good idea, right? He just said it's expensive for his budget, but that little bit of money that he's spending on there, it might seem a lot now, as opposed to later down the line, her cheating and leaving you and taking half your money. So, I'm not saying do all these things, but, if you have a lot of money on the line to lose, do what you got to do, man. Protect your assets.
Before you confront. It felt extreme, but I needed answers. The PI reassured me he would find out what was going on with my wife. He asked for basic details, her work schedule, the nights she went out, and any other patterns I'd noticed. I told him her attire had slightly changed. He promised to be discreet and said he'd have.
Wait, who was it that he told?
He asked for basic details, her work schedule, the nights she went out, and any other patterns I'd noticed. I told him her attire had slightly changed. He promised to be discreet and said he'd have updates within a few days. 2 days later, the investigator called me. He had followed her after work and confirmed she wasn't heading to the office or any bar with coworkers. Instead, she had gone to a different bar across town where she met a man. The two of them sat close at the bar, talking and laughing.
Meanwhile, you're at home thinking about, I don't want to be insecure, thinking about, I don't want to be an overthinker. Meanwhile, you're over there working your ass off to provide and pay the bills. Meanwhile, these women ain't shit, bro. That's why you can never trust no woman. Never trust a woman. I don't care how close you guys are, you never trust a woman, okay? You can trust them as far as you can throw them. That's it. Okay, you got to understand that these women out here are not to be trusted. You can trust the chick with she's shown you that she's taking care of you, but you always got to understand, right? Because there's guys out there that say, my woman would never cheat. That's how they get you, right? You can't be overthinking. You can't be paranoid about it. You can't be over here wondering, is she cheating on me? Is she cheating? Right? And being so in love with just one woman. But you got to understand, not saying that it's going to happen. Not all, but most, right? Not saying that it's going to happen. But always understand that it can. The moment that you start believing your woman would never do that to you, your woman could never do that to you, is the moment that you will get your heart wrecked, and it might really fuck you up. You got to think about this, bro. Right? You don't take this shit seriously. Emotional pain is one of the hardest pains to deal with. So if you don't understand that this mindset is preventing you from fucking up in life, it's because, think about this, right? You have the mindset that your woman would never in your life cheat on you. You can't live without her, whatever, right? And then something like this happens and you catch her. What happens? You're going to be devastated because you weren't prepared for it mentally. So what is that going to do? You might fall into a depression. You might, and I'm not saying that none of that shit is real, right? Because I don't believe in it. I believe in hard work. I believe in taking pain and using it to fuel you. But let's just say you don't even have that mindset, or you don't have someone there to guide you, or you don't guide yourself. You might sit there sad, not knowing what to do, not knowing how to navigate your emotions, and you're going to be stuck for months, maybe a year. It's going to slow down so much of your life because you didn't have the proper mindset beforehand to take the precautions and see long-sighted, as opposed to seeing so close and just being involved in your emotions. Okay? So understand that, guys. Always, 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 always. Never trust a woman. Only trust them as far as you can throw them. And understand that they're not saying that they're going to cheat on you, but they can. And it's not for you to think about. It's not for you to sit there and think about this, right? You know that when you get in your car, the car can crash, right? You know that. You know it's a possibility. And you drive carefully so that the car doesn't crash. But you're not in the car every time. Oh, fuck, I'm going to crash. Oh. No. You just get in the car. You drive carefully. You see a car coming. You kind of turn to the side because you know the possibility is there. But imagine a driver that doesn't think that anyone can crash and just thinks that cars can just bump into each other. 100 miles per hour. 100 miles per hour. This car's 100 miles per hour. Oh, yeah, cars can just bump into each other. Boom! Wreck. Death. Over. Why? Because no understanding.
At one point, the PI noted they held hands briefly before leaving together. I asked if he had photos, and he assured me he'd send them by the end of the day. When the email came through, I opened it and felt my stomach drop.
Your stomach will drop. You will have that feeling in your stomach to where you're like, fuck, right? Heartbreak hurts. Heartbreak is not fun. If you are a man and you felt that feeling, that shit is not fun. But understand that it will make you better as a man if you use it as fuel, as motivation, right? Heartbreak can either make you or break you. If you find some shit out about your chick and you sit there and you cry about it and you go back to her, you're solidifying yourself as a weak man. It's going to break you. But if you're the type of man who sees something like this, you get angry and you use that anger. Anger is just energy. Any emotion that you feel, anxiety is energy, sadness is energy, anger is energy. So if you take this anger that you saw from seeing this and the heartbreak, the sadness, and you take all this energy and you put it into something, your body, your looks, your money, whatever the case may be, right? You're going to see so much, you're going to see leaps and bounds in your improvement in that area. Why? Because it was fueled and backed by so much desire and so much fuel. So guys, anytime you go through something like this, it's going to hurt. Okay? And if you've been with a woman for 3 years, you're not going to get over her in 3 days. It might take you 3 months. It might take you a month. It might take you 6 months, right? Everyone's different. But understand that you're not going to get over her so quickly. Okay? There's going to be times when you miss her, but you be a fucking man about it. You don't sit there and take back a woman who cheated. You don't sit there and take back a woman who had gallons busted on her face. Don't do it, bro. Don't be a weak little bitch. Be a fucking man. Okay? Let's see.
There she was, smiling in a way I hadn't seen in years, with some strange man. They were very intimate in those photos. The PI continued his work over the next week. He tracked her movements and discovered a pattern. She would leave work early some days and meet this man at a small motel on the outskirts of town. The evidence was undeniable. Time-stamped photos, receipts from the motel, and even video footage of the two of them entering the building together. When I saw the proof, I knew there was no coming back from this. I decided to confront her on a Saturday afternoon. The kids were at a friend's house and the timing felt right. When she walked in, I told her there was a package that was delivered for her and it was sitting on the dining room table. I didn't say a word, just gestured toward the photos on the dining room table. You should have seen her face when she opened the envelope. At first, she tried to
Oh no, babe, that wasn't me. It was a guy, and he was just holding my hand because I felt dizzy in the moment. And once that doesn't work, on to the next, crying, crying, right? And then on to the next tactic. But babe, you didn't make me feel special, and you didn't give me the attention, and you didn't, and you had me, and you, motherfucker. She's gaslighting your ass, dumbass. She's gaslighting you. So don't fall for these little tricks, right? She's gonna deny it. She's gonna cry. She's gonna sit there and try to put the blame on you and make you feel as if you were to blame. Be a man. Understand that you are a logical man, and nothing this bitch says or does can change your mind. You know now. You know the truth. The truth will set you free, brother. Don't believe the lie. Don't buy into a lie. Believe the truth. The truth will set you free. So sit there, be happy that you have the truth, and don't listen to a word she has ever told you unless she's telling you straight out of her mouth, yes, I cheated. This is why I cheated. And I am sorry, okay? And even if she says sorry, don't take her back. But that's the only time you should be like, okay. But if a woman says, I didn't cheat, or I cheated because of this, and I didn't feel, fuck that shit, bitch.
deny it, but the evidence was too strong. There was no way she could deny it. Finally, she broke down and admitted everything. She met the guy at a bar months ago. They had exchanged numbers, and what started as harmless flirting escalated into an affair.
Oh my goodness. Don't tell me this guy takes her back. Please don't tell me this guy takes her back.
I didn't want to hear her excuses or apologies. I told her we were done and that I'd be filing for divorce.
Thank goodness. And guys, this is why you don't let your woman have male friends, okay? That should be a boundary for all guys. Don't let your woman have male friends. That's not insecure. But understand that when you guys are going through something, emotions are high, she might be mad at you. That's not how she truly feels about you. But in the moment, her emotions are so high, she's mad at you. And then, guess what? In that moment, she hates you, right? Love and hate. It's polarity. She's like, oh, I fucking hate him. Right? It's normal, right? People feel emotions. So understand that in that moment, if she has male friends, what do the male friends want? The male friends just want to fuck. Okay? Plain and simple. They just want to fuck. And so if you don't have that rule, if you don't have that boundary, when the time comes, she's mad at you, these guys are going to be all in her ear, telling her everything that she wants to hear. They're going to strike while the iron is hot. They're going to be like, oh, baby, oh, it's okay. Why? He doesn't really treat you so good. Wow, I can't believe he would treat you like that. I would never treat you like, oh my goodness, right? So no male friends, because this is what happens, right? You see what she saw? It started off with a little flirtatious, and then eventually it turned to, yeah, I mean. But your woman should never be giving out her number to other men.
She begged me to reconsider, saying it was a mistake and that she wanted to work things out for the sake of the kids. But there was no going back. Her betrayal had destroyed any trust I had in her. The divorce process was messy, as expected. Her family tried to intervene, urging me to give her another chance, but I stood my ground.
Stand your ground, brother. She's been lying to you all this time. You can't trust the liar. She's been lying to you all this time, and what, you think now she's just suddenly gonna change? And no, she's a conniving, sneaky, deceiving woman.
I moved out temporarily while we figured out custody arrangements for the kids. By Christmas, we were living separate lives. The holiday was bittersweet, celebrating with my kids while grappling with the reality of a broken marriage. But one thing was clear. I had made the right decision. After the confrontation, the air in the house felt like it was permanently tainted. She kept trying to reach out, pleading for forgiveness, but I had made up my mind. There was no fixing what she had done, not after the lies, the sneaking around, and the complete disregard for our family. I started looking into attorneys the next day.
And you can have sex with a woman after something like that, but guess what? It's not going to be the same. Unless you like other men clapping out your woman's cheeks, it's not going to be the same. You're going to look at her, you're going to be disgusted. You're going to be like, this dirty ass bitch. This bitch really let another man hit that? Dirty ass hoe. Right? It's not going to be the same. So fellas, don't do it, right? Unless you need that. Well, what that man Orlando Brown said, that ushmash gushmash. Unless you need some ushmash gushmash and you know how to control your emotions, then hey, do what you got to do. But most guys can't do that. Most guys get that ushmash gushmash, and guess what? They're all of a sudden, oh, actually, fuck all that cheating shit. Oh, let's get back into a relationship. I apologize. I apologize for catching you, right? So many guys are so weak.
The first call I made was to a local lawyer who specialized in family law. I explained the situation briefly and set up an appointment for the following week. Even though the path forward seemed clear, the process of dismantling a 19-year marriage was anything but simple. The hardest part was figuring out how to tell the kids. They were old enough to notice that something was wrong, especially since their mom and I barely spoke anymore. I decided to sit them down one evening while she was out. I didn't go into details. I didn't think it was appropriate to burden them with the full truth, but I told them that their mom and I had decided to separate. Their faces crumpled, and I felt so guilty, even though I knew it wasn't my fault. But I told them that
I'm just tired, bro. Let me see.
I didn't think it was appropriate to burden them with the full truth, but I told them that their mom and I had decided to separate. Their faces crumpled, and I felt so guilty, even though I knew it wasn't my fault. I assured them that we both loved them and that we'd do everything we could to make the transition as smooth as possible. As the weeks went on, the situation grew more contentious. She refused to move out of the house, claiming that it would disrupt the kids' routine. I ended up renting a small apartment on the other side of town just to keep the peace. It was a far cry from the home I had worked so hard to build.
And then he came home to his actual house and saw his wife getting railed. Watch.
But at least it gave me some space to think. Every time I walked through the front door of that apartment, though, I was reminded of everything I had lost. The quiet, the emptiness, it was all a stark contrast.
Bro, all that losing, all that, oh, it's getting stuck in the past. Understand that you're stuck on all the memories that you created in the past. Start creating some new ones. Start working on yourself. Start becoming the man that you respect. And then start creating those memories with another woman. Learn to be on your own. You can't be in a relationship and have a great relationship if you can't be on your own. Because you're always going to need that attachment. You're always going to be dependent, as opposed to being the type of man who can be on his own. And so when he gets into a relationship, everything works out amazing, wonderful. Why? Because he's okay with being on his own. So let go of all those thoughts. Ignore them. Ignore all those thoughts. Ignore all those feelings. And just let them go. Let them go. Okay? Because all those thoughts of the past, all they're going to do is just make you feel some type of way and cry about it. Meanwhile, she was already cheating on you. And right now, you think she just stopped cheating on you after you caught her? No. If she couldn't even control her desires to the point where she had to go get her cheeks demolished while she was with you, you think that once you let her go, is going to tone down, oh, she's going to be more rampant. Come on, dog.
To the chaotic, love-filled home we used to have. Meanwhile, the legal proceedings dragged on. She hired an attorney of her own, and it became clear that this wasn't going to be an amicable split. She tried to argue that her affair had no bearing on the divorce, and even
These women are wicked, bro. Wicked.
demanded spousal support, despite the fact that she was fully employed. Her audacity was infuriating, but my lawyer assured me that the evidence I had would work in my favor. Still, the process was draining, emotionally, financially, and mentally. Around this time, I started to notice a shift in her demeanor. She went from being apologetic to combative, as if trying to rewrite the narrative of what had happened.
I'm going to let the story play. I'll be right back. Let me get a drink. 2 seconds. All right, guys? I'll be right back.
She began accusing me of being distant, of neglecting her needs, of prioritizing work over our relationship. It was a classic deflection tactic, but it still stung. I knew I wasn't perfect, but I also knew that I hadn't betrayed her trust.
What did I say? Did you guys not watch the video? What did I say? I said she's going to be blaming you. Look what she's doing. All women are the same, bro. They're going to do the same exact shit, right? Once you have experienced it a few times, it's all cookie cutter, right? You know, they're going to cry, they're going to blame you, they're going to do this and that. It's all the same process, right? So you just got to become better at dealing with it.
I knew I wasn't perfect, but I also knew that I hadn't betrayed her trust. Her attempts to paint herself as the victim only reinforced my decision to end the
because they can't take no accountability. They can't take no accountability. Women will rather take it to the grave unless you catch them. If you catch them, then she either can blatantly lie in your face or she can just admit it for once in her life. But if you never catch her, you only have suspicions, she will never just admit it unless she lost so much respect for you to the point where she sees you as a bitch. She sees you like the scum of the earth. Then maybe she'll tell you straight up to your face, yeah, I cheated on you. Yeah, I went out there and I sucked the whole football team. Maybe. But if it hasn't gotten to that point, that woman will rather take it to the grave. You want to know why? Because not only does she feel bad deep down inside, but second of all, once again, they don't take accountability. So when you and her break up, she doesn't want you to go around and tell your mother, your father, your siblings, your friends, and also her parents find out and her say, hey, mom and dad, listen, we broke up because I cheated on him, right? I was a whore. I was a slut. Do you think she really wants to let everyone know that? Of course not. So the secret's going to be between her and the motherfucker who she cheated with. So guys, understand that. And watch out for all these little manipulation tactics and understand she's not going to take accountability unless you caught her in 8K.
The marriage. The tipping point came during a court hearing about custody arrangements. She tried to argue that the kids should live with her full time because my work schedule was too demanding. Thankfully, the judge saw through.
Gonna ruin the kids, right? And the cycle just continues. Weak man, weak children. Why? Because children need the leadership of their father. And this woman is so wicked that she wants to cheat on her man, right? She wants to cheat on her man. And then on top of that, when he wants to have some self-respect and divorce her ass, she says, no, I want these resources. I want this attention. Let me try to gaslight him. That doesn't work? Well, I want my kids. Not even thinking this through about the effect that this is going to have on the kids. You have a son, that son is going to grow up without a father. He's going to grow up with no direction. He's going to take on all the traits of the mother. He's going to take on the traits of a emotional woman who's bitter and angry. And what do you think that's going to do to him? Later down the road, he's going to be an emotional, dangerous wreck in prison or dead. Because a man who cannot control his emotions is a very weak man and is very dangerous to society. So these women are something else, man.
Through her argument, I presented evidence showing that I had always been an active and involved father, even during the busiest times of the year. The judge ruled in my favor, granting joint custody. It was a small victory, but it felt monumental in the moment. As Christmas approached, I did my best to create a sense of normalcy for the
Like, ladies, ladies. What is the problem with y'all? Why are y'all so bitter? Like, right? If you divorce someone, it didn't work out. Listen, let's meet up on this day and let's exchange the kids and let's just do it for them. I'm not gonna. Why would you stop someone from seeing their parents? Why would you do that? Even if you guys didn't work out, that's between you guys. That's not between the kids. Think about the kids, bro. Why would you do that to the kids? I'm gonna take you to court and we're gonna do this. And unless the father was like extremely abusive or the mother was extremely abusive, like in that case, yeah. But it's like, if you guys just didn't work out, you cheated on him, he cheated on you, something happened, you guys got mad at each other, don't take it out on the kids. Women do that out of spite. Women are so spiteful that they will ruin their children's lives to get back at their husband. You understand? They're like, I want to get back at my husband because he caught me cheating. So I want to get back at him for making me be single out here. So guess what? I'm not going to let him see his kids and he's going to have to pay me. She'll ruin his life by him having to work to pay child support. She'll ruin the kid's life by them not having a father growing up. Do you know the effect that has on a kid? Come on, ladies, what's going on?
kids. I decorated my apartment with a small tree, strung up some lights, and even baked cookies with them. Despite my lack of culinary skills, it wasn't the same as being in our family home, but it was a start. I wanted them to know that no matter what, they still had a father who loved them unconditionally. On Christmas Eve, I took the kids to my parents' house for dinner. It was a tradition we had followed for years, and I didn't want to break it just because of the divorce. My parents were supportive, as always, but I could tell they were struggling to adjust to the new reality, just like I was. Still, we made the best of it. The kids opened their presents, we ate too much food, and for a few hours, it felt like things might eventually be okay. The next morning, I woke up to a flurry of texts from her. She had spent Christmas Eve alone and was now demanding.
The grass ain't greener on the other side, baby. You was over there getting those cheeks pounded, thinking, oh yeah, if I leave my husband, we're over here smashing, the guy's gonna love me and we're gonna be in a relationship, we're gonna live happily ever after. Nope, the guy just wanted your cheeks. So maybe you shouldn't have been such a fucking whore, closed your fucking legs, submitted to your husband, and guess what? Everything would have been straight. But now, you lost your fucking marriage. Now, that motherfucker didn't want to cuff you because you were cheating on your husband. You really think a man's going to want to cuff you unless he's a fucking idiot? But do you really think he's going to want to cuff you when you're cheating on him? You really think he's going to be like, wow, this woman who cheats on her husband. Oh, wifey material. Like, you have to be stupid. Like, what is it? Are you stupid? Is that what it is?
Ending to see the kids, I reminded her that we had agreed to split the holiday, with her taking them in the afternoon. She responded with a barrage of angry messages, accusing me of trying to alienate her from the kids. I didn't engage. I had learned by this point that arguing with her was pointless. The rest of the day was bittersweet. The kids seemed to enjoy their time with me, but I could tell they were torn.
And fellas, listen, if you want to improve your dating life, if you want to improve your game with women, you want to learn how to create that sexual tension better, send me a DM on Instagram at Optimal Man Coaching. I'm here to help. Reach out to me. You don't have to just watch my videos. You can talk to me directly. You don't have to sit here and just watch my videos and be like, oh, I agree with what he says. Yeah. No. Shoot me a DM. Let's get to work. Let's help you out with your problems. That's what I am here for.
When it was time for them to go to her house, I hugged them tightly and promised that we'd have more time together soon. Watching them leave was one of the hardest parts of the entire ordeal, but I reminded myself that I was doing what was best for them in the long run.
Well, fellas, that's the video for today. Like I said, like the video, send me a message on Instagram, and let's get to work, guys. But once again, don't take these women who cheat back. Learn from that lesson, right? I don't know if this story is real, but let's see. Is this guy, does he have more of these? I'm pretty sure he probably is. Like, I guess he tells stories or something.
I got another crazy.
Oh, yeah. For divorcing my wife. Wife caught cheating 7 different men. Whoa. I'm going to need to watch that one. Wife caught cheating with 7 different men. Cheating wife claims she volunteered at a community hall all day, so I followed her. Well, guys, if you guys like that, then let me know. And I'll go ahead and react to it, all right? That's the video for today, guys. Peace out.